Mental Health Matters Thursday. Johanse Iodike joins me on the set to get into a very important discussion. Johanse, great to see you as always. Welcome.
Yes, Jason. Thanks for having me, and morning to everyone viewing.
Listen, this topic, we hear it all the time. You know, crab in a barrel syndrome. The question this morning is, how do we escape it? How to escape crab in barrel?
Firstly, knowledge is power. So to even understand why. So crab in barrel, what the crab trying to do? We always hear the crab trying to escape, correct?
And as the crab going to the top, it get pulled down by those inside. So it's like you're just, nobody coming out.
Right, so let me break it down. It's like I have the crab on the couch and I'm talking to the crab here, right? Why it is you want to escape the barrel? Why you think the crab want to escape the barrel?
I guess explore horizons, get out the barrel, to see the world, to move beyond where you are. You remember, you're confined to this barrel. So, you know, we're seeing, but not seeing a sky. Well, I wonder what outside this barrel, boy. Let me come out now. And as I'm about to come out the barrel, I get pulled right back down. That's how I interpret the crab in a barrel, you know.
Correct, and I agree with you. So there's a positive reason for why the crab or the crab is trying to escape the barrel, right? So everybody trying to escape, so for a good reason. But even though it may seem, because when I heard about crab and barrel syndrome growing up, it's usually along the lines of jealousy, envy, people always trying to pull you down. But I've realized it's not always about a negative reason or somebody trying to scheme against you. It's that we all trying, well, most of us want to see something better. We want something better, but sometimes we may not have the right tools or the right mechanisms. So it's like we're doing the same thing over and over. I want to escape, I want to escape. But in that, I'm not studying people around me. I'm not studying if there's a new method. I just take into the same thing all the time.
But doesn't crab in a barrel, and when we look at it from a historical point of view also, come out of our colonial past, come out of some of the atrocities that would have happened during even scenarios like slavery, even indentureship, where you see people trying to make a move, trying to come out of a circumstance. And even those who were able to escape the barrel, it's very rare they look back and send the rope, you know. Very rare that they look back and send a rope down and say, oh, come up with me. People can escape, and they say, you know what? Oh, let's stay right there now. And I would imagine that is why people don't want anybody else to come out the barrel, because they understand what will take place. So you know what? Don't go nowhere, stay here with us. I wonder, how do we break that mental chain when we look at it from that angle? You want to say?
Now, we start with the majority of the crabs who are in the barrel, right? And because most crabs there, stopping first and analyzing, because if everybody running and trying to come out, then a few need to stop and observe, because human behavior sometimes can be very predictable. And if we go in crab and barrel, we know all the crabs, or at least most, trying to escape. So they keep trying, pulling and pulling. So we could kind of estimate for it. We stop, we look at it, and then when we understand what it is going on, because all of us, none of us, I think, reach our exact pinnacle yet. So I dare say some of us still in the barrel, right? And for those of us who in the barrel, we could stop and observe. And the few of us could come up with new methodologies, because we could talk about the old, we could talk about the history, we could talk about things like that, but sometimes I rather view it in a solution focus orientation, whereas I don't really want to hear too much about the problem, but let me hear more about the solution, because I hear more about the problem since I'm a child. And the same thing you're saying, you're hearing about it all the time, but yet we're still experiencing it.
And that's the thing. I wonder if we need to address it, because the reality is it's something that's been happening before our journey. It probably might happen even after we depart, where literally we do see people sending the rope back down. And we always talk about unity, we always talk about helping out each other, being our brothers and sisters keeper. Easier said than done. I mean, lots of folks, when they are successful, when they come out of that barrel and they're really able to fly and fly high, sometimes they coast, the shine is so bright that, you know, they sometimes don't even take on the same people that would have been there with them from the very start. Sometimes they actually leave the whole region. You come out of the whole Trinidad and Tobago experience, and sometimes you look down upon, you know, we have seen it time and time again, and I don't understand what is the mindset, why some folks operate in such a manner, and I wonder if that's why anybody trying to escape, they get that fight, because those who are there with you on the ground at the point in time, they really want you to, it's like they don't trust. It's like there's probably a lack of trust. I wonder if that person will really come and help us, boy. You know what? We're even too sure, we'll keep you right here.
It could be a lack of trust. Jason, I hear what I'm saying, because those who, and yourself, I looking at yourself, you are, I think, a successful person, right? So like we say, you come out of the barrel, right? We're using that analogy. But also you do things to help many people. Yourself and others like yourself, I think we are the people who would bring everybody out. Sometimes we can't concentrate too much, and I hear what you're saying, we should not concentrate too much on those who don't want to help versus those who want to help.
Of course.
And the few crabs who came out and willing to come back in should come together and find ways and help those who want to come out. Some may not want to come out. You can't force them to do it. But for us to at least unite, because we say this all the time, and I don't believe that when we go, it still should be here. Because, oh gosh, Jason, it's time for things to change, you know. It's time for even a 2% of things to change.
Yeah. And I agree, and I love how you put that perspective on it, because, you know, again, solution-oriented, and you're showing that, yes, there are many. Because that's our operator. I see success as the ability, leadership to me, is the ability to create other leaders. If I've been able to get to grade B, and somebody who I assist get to grade A, boy, I'm so happy for them. You know, that is my success too, because this is someone who went even beyond my potential. And I think we have to get out of that fear and that not wanting to assist people because they might get bigger, stronger, and better than you.
Right, and every time you do it, every time I do it, every time someone helps someone else, someone sees it, you know, and that contributes to the overall positivity of the mental health, because I've heard people saying, well, I don't want to do this because I know somebody trying to bring me down. I know there's some negativity, and that degrades mental health. Sometimes that even demotivates people from even wanting to help the country. They want to leave, they want to play it small, because, you know, if I become too big, somebody might try to pull me down.
And even when that success comes around, you're able to come out the barrel. I want you to explain to me, is it more a subjective and individual kind of basis, how people decide to portray the success? Some people are very loud with the success. Some people are very cool and calm. You will never know if you didn't know. Is that really based on an individual kind of basis? Yeah,
I think so, you know, because each person expresses themselves differently, and I'm not mad at anybody for how they portray success. If your success is gold chain, wear the gold chain. If your success is humble, but, you know, you're helping people on the side, you're doing other things, do that also. And I'm saying that's important, because with success, I don't think we should tell people how to portray their success. So even in that sense, sometimes people want to be success, but then think sometimes, well, I have to give back. Nobody told you have to give back. Well, I have to now live somewhere else. Nobody didn't say that. So I'm demystifying some of these things, because when we all look at success, when we all look at our journey coming out of the barrel, look at it as freedom. And you are allowed to express that freedom in any way you can, of course, once it's legal, once it's safe for society, etc. But it's for us to be able to look up, and look up with optimism, that we could actually escape, right? And even when we escape, we could help others escape, and also enjoy the life that we want.
You know, somebody said something to me recently, and it really it had me thinking. He's a successful businessman, very successful. But if you didn't know, you would never. If you don't know him personally, you would never know. He plays it very calm. And he says, based on Trinidad and the current climate, especially with crime, and the fact that people sometimes watching and surveying and the eyes on you, he says, real happiness in Trinidad right now is to remain irrelevant. What do you think about that? Marinate on that for a second. And I found it made total sense, you know. Because again, he could go out and buy a valet in the morning at 1.2. He could. I mean, the man is that big. But he plays it when I tell you, real calm, real cool, you will never know. Simple, simple. And he says, Jay, he says happiness, because he says he values family and his quiet time. And he says that he really want no set of eyes on him. So he says that happiness is finding a way to remain irrelevant. And you know, when you think about it, the extremely wealthy, you really don't even know sometimes who they are. The extremely successful people. Think about it, Yohanse.
I see the wisdom in it, but I would say when you decide to help others, when you decide to live in your truth and seek happiness, you automatically become relevant. Now, you don't have to be popular and famous, but you will become relevant. So let's say with him, if he's somebody who about family, helping his family, doing things family-oriented, and he concentrating on peace, people would see him as a beacon of light, even if it's in a more quiet sense. So his family, he become more relevant to his family. He become more relevant to those around you. So I get the relevance and then the wisdom, but also, and which this is to tell everyone, when you're seeking your joy and you're seeking peace, you will become a light to others. But you don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to put it on social media, etc.
Yeah, you don't have to really, advertise all your wares.
But you will become known.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, interesting, very... I didn't expect the conversation to take this particular turn, honestly. I thought we were trying to find ways to break the cycle, but
this is breaking the cycle, you know.
Yeah, it's true. By actually just helping others and finding ways to get out.
Changing the man in the mirror.
I love it. I love it. Yohanse, I'll give you the final say as per usual.
We all seeking joy, we all seeking happiness, and we don't need to pull each other down to do it. Don't make life complicated, because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, that is some real advice in real time. We don't have to pull each other down, and at the end of the day, what you said there, Yohanse, it's a game changer. And if we were really to apply it, what a better Trinidad and Tobago we would be living in.
Correct.
Yeah, well said. Mental health matters this and every Thursday. God spare, we do it again next week. Let's take the break. We come back and get into the segments, the brew, ways you can contact us as we rally up for the 7:30 transition into the morning shot with Ian Wason. See you soon.